Ladies and mostly gentlemen, today is Friday, October 9th, 2015, and welcome to gameranx Untitled Friday Gaming News Show thing that we still don't have a name for. I'm Jake Baldino. We got a lot of gaming stuff to talk about this week, so let's get right into it, starting off with Xbox and head of Xbox, Phil Spencer. He had some very interesting things to say this week at the 2015 GeekWire Summit, because an audience member asked him the obligatory question, do you think that you can beat Sony this console generation in the console war and whatever? And Phil Spencer replied, and I quote, I don't know. He admitted that Sony had a huge lead and that they have a good product. He said, and I quote, but I love the content and I love the games lineup that we have. And I keep saying this, but Phil Spencer has been the head of Xbox since about April, and he just seems like a very candid, nice guy. He understands that he has to run a business, but he's also very frank about how things are going. And I thought it was really interesting that he admitted that he doesn't know if they can beat Sony. That to me isn't what corporations usually do, where they like to show confidence and show that they're winning and create that whole belief bubble that they're the best. Something that I did enjoy that he said, which kind of seems to be like the whole corporate mindset of Microsoft right now and how things are kind of changing for them. Phil said, and I quote, we're not motivated by beating Sony, we're motivated by gaining as many customers as we can. He also went on to talk about how he felt obligated to sell the Xbox to customers and promise that they have a good experience, but they need to have the money to find the backing to give those good experiences to the gamers. So it's a very interesting balance. But it was a really interesting interview, and you can check out the link to that as well as everything I talk about today down below. And in other news, the Star Wars Battlefront beta, whether you love it or hate it, it's now live for everyone. And I've had early access, so I've been playing the beta for a while, but I gotta say, I'm really enjoying it. And I'll admit, it's not exactly perfect. The hero characters control a little finicky, and flying around in fighters just kind of feels like complete ass. But that being said, the game is just so simplistic and seemingly well designed and really fun that I'm just having a blast. Yeah, sure, there is an issue with the Hoth battle and how the rebels kind of really having a really tough time because the Empire has all this other cool shit to do. But besides that, I'm having a lot of fun, and you should check out the beta if you haven't already. What I do think is really exciting about Battlefront is that DICE has announced that there are no microtransactions in this game, which is a huge deal for a company like EA. Maybe they're finally hearing all of our complaints, or maybe just DLC is just not working out and they're not cutting enough of a profit from it and they're going back to the drawing board. One can dream. Who knows what the real deal is. But something I thought was really interesting, some of the first official gameplay footage to be posted from the beta was via Jack Frags, and it was fucking hilarious. Look at this. Darth Vader bests Luke in combat, and then a soldier comes and teabags Luke. Video games, ladies and gentlemen. That is video games in a nutshell. And I love it. And in weird VR news, because that seems to be a thing I talk about every week now, check out this, it's almost a real-life bird simulator called Birdly. This is from a team at the Institute for Design Research at the Zurich University of the Arts. This is an Oculus Rift-based game that you hook up to a big mechanized bird platform thing that simulates flying. And it looks really awkward. It almost looks like a creepy, weird sex machine. I don't know, but is this the world we're gonna live in? Is this what we're gonna see all the time? Because it's hilarious and I want more of it. Will it really make you feel like you're a bird flying around? I don't really think so, because you're strapped to a hydraulic chair that is constantly moving around. It probably takes you out of the immersion a little bit. But hey, it's really cool, and I do like to see people making these types of things because we have all different new innovations for these things that aren't even mainstream products yet, and it's exciting to see what the future could bring. And in a surprise announcement by Ubisoft, they have dropped the new Far Cry game, Far Cry Primal. It takes place in a kind of Ice Age type of era, where you play as a native tribesman dude and you hunt and gather and do all kinds of shit, and it looks absolutely awesome. You guys can see from the trailer, this game looks really intense. And it looks really interesting. It looks like there's 4-player cooperative woolly mammoth hunting, and this is just a really unique thing to do, especially for a AAA studio to make a game about being a caveman. We've seen this in indie games before, but never in a AAA title, so I'm all about it. And in weird controller news, Japanese company Cyber Gadgets has announced a new product, a toggle that connects to your PlayStation 4 or Xbox One that allows you to use basically any controller ever on your console. Yeah, this awkward new adapter can allow players to connect Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, PS2, and any other USB PC controller to a PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And it supports all mappable controller functions except for the PlayStation 4 touchpad. And this is honestly pretty cool. It doesn't seem like they have plans to announce it overseas yet, but in Japan it costs about $70, and it probably saves you a ton of money considering every single controller is like exorbitant for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. So this is kind of weird and maybe potentially really useless, but if you're the type of person that wants to beat Call of Duty or Dark Souls 2 on a Dance Dance Revolution mat or a Guitar Hero controller, I guess you finally can follow your dreams. And in other technology news, but this doesn't really have too much to do about video games, but I just wanted to talk about it anyway, Sharp has announced a new smartphone that is actually a little robot. Yes, if you've ever wanted a robot as a smartphone, now you can have it if you live in Japan. This little guy is called the RoboHone like phone, but in robophone. What a stupid name. But he's a little guy with a 2-inch LED screen, and he supports 3G, LTE, and Wi-Fi, and all that good stuff that you expect. He's also got a camera and a projector that he can project images on your screen onto a table or a wall. He can sit, he can dance, he can walk around, and even learn the perimeters of a room. It also comes with a really awful looking carrying case if you want to look like a mega dork with a little robot pal in your pocket. Interestingly enough though, it's not based on Android. It's got its own proprietary software, and I'm curious to see if there's ever going to be any little games on it, or if you can control this guy and send him into rooms to spy on people or things like that. Because of course that's the first thing that comes to mind for me, because I'm a weirdo. They don't have any plans to release this anywhere but Japan, because I mean, look at the thing, it's totally weird. But just some food for thought, wanted to bring that to you guys. But last but not least, we have a PlayStation 4 price cut. In case you missed it this week, the PlayStation 4 in the US and Canada, not sure about Europe, but it's now $50 cheaper, which is pretty awesome. This is the PlayStation 4's actually first price cut ever from the lifespan of the console, and it makes sense in the history of consoles. It was about the right time for a price cut, but that's awesome because more people might hop on board this holiday season, and more people playing PlayStation, and you know, that's good, right? And more people finally playing current gen consoles and less people playing last gen consoles thankfully means that maybe now we won't get games that are dumbed down or cut down to also fit on last gen consoles. Now we'll be no longer held back. Hopefully, yes. PC players are laughing at me right now, I know. And last but not least, before you guys go, let's talk about giveaways, because I love giving you guys free shit, okay? We posted, if you guys missed, a community highlights video with the winners from the last giveaway I announced. You guys posted some cool clips that you gave to us, and we picked the winners, and congratulations to those winners. You can check that out in that awesome video. We're also going to be accepting more clips from now on, and we're going to be giving away a console next time, so definitely check out that video. I linked it below. But this week, I have something really awesome to announce. I'm really excited to give this away. We have 4 copies of Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. We have 2 codes for Xbox One and 2 codes for PS4. So all you gotta do to win this, you might know the drill by now. If you follow me on Twitter already, thank you very much. You can just tweet me. But if you are new, follow me on Twitter and tweet me with the hashtag MetalGameRankSolid. Also be sure to leave in that tweet the preference for which console you'd like it for. These are digital codes, so make sure you have hard drive space, and unfortunately it's from North America only. Sorry guys. I'll announce the winners on my Twitter on Wednesday, October 14th, and I'll mention them on the show next week if I remember. Also, if you did notice, I am wearing this awesome shirt about the Rocktober. The Rocktober is this kind of Twitter holiday I started last year that kind of blew up, where we just celebrate The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and how fucking awesome he is. So I made shirts, I'm selling them, I linked them below, but all the proceeds go to Make-A-Wish Foundation charity. I figured it was the right thing to do. So definitely check that out. If you love The Rock, you love hashtag The Rocktober, definitely check it out. But that's it for this week, guys. I want to talk to you guys down in the comments. Let's talk about video games. Let's talk about what's going on this week. Are you into Far Cry Primal? And Xbox fans, how do you feel about the head of Xbox admitting that he can't defeat Sony? Do you think that's going to help them in the long run, not trying to directly compete? Let's talk about it. And if you had a good time or learned something new or got in on one of our giveaways, click the like button, because that's the best way you can help us out. And subscribing is the best thing you can do, because we put out videos every single day. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Pizza's on me.